guys, it's Amber from Amber Eats Books, and I'm back again with another book haul. Let's just not even go there. Let's just not even talk about the amount of money and the amount of books that I've been buying because it's excessive. But anyway, we're just gonna get into these books. So I'm gonna start where I always do, and that's with my Stephen King replacement books. I just happened to decide to do a buddy reads with two other booktubers in the last couple of days, and they decided to do a Stephen King book. So I thought, great, I will be able to go and purchase a larger version of the book, whether that was hardcover or trade paperback size. I will tell you guys more about the actual buddy reads in my weekly reads video for that week when it's actually happening. But the book that we are going to be buddy reading is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. So I had this. This is the mass market paperback. I love the cover, and one of the ones that one of the booktubers that I'm going to be reading it with is Liz from, I think her channel's Mountain City Books. Her channel might just be her name, Liz Schubert. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that. And like I said in my weekly reads, I will link all of that information and everything in the description box. But she had this in hardcover, this exact cover, and I love it. I do love this cover. And I was really sad when I went on Amazon and I couldn't find the hardcover for this, and I couldn't find the trade paperback in this cover because I really do love it. But the cover that I did find was really fun, so I wasn't mad at it. And that was this cover. It is lime green, bright colors. There's a little, little cemetery with a cat sitting on top of the gravestone and him thinking about it and crying. It's really good. Though I feel like this one more accurately depicts the story, I do like the fun of this cover. So I'm really excited to be able to read it in this size and to be able to get rid of this little rinky-dink book. But yep, that was my Stephen King find for this week at least. The next set of books I found at a thrift store that I don't usually go to. I go to maybe a couple of times a year. My husband and I just happened to be out and about, and I was like, hey, we're in the area, let's stop there. So I got 6 books, I think, for $3. So can't really complain about that pricing. I don't know a lot about most of these, but I will just kind of go through them quickly. The first book I found was Hannah's Daughter, A Novel of Three Generations by Marianne Fredrickson. Just seemed really interesting, and it was a book of the month club and the quality paperback book club, so just sounded like something that a lot of people have read and might be an entertaining read. The next book I found, I was excited actually, because it was about Steve Martin. It's called Born Standing Up by Steve Martin, A Comic's Life. And I love nonfiction books, especially memoirs, so I'm really excited to read this. And I love Steve Martin. I mean, Father of the Bride, I could watch those movies all the time, plus many of his other ones, but that one is like one that I grew up watching and could watch over and over again. So I'm really interested to learn more about his life. And then I found Prozac Nation by Elizabeth Wurtzel. I've heard so much about this book, and I know it deals with mental health issues and whatnot. So I want to definitely try to read this next month. Then I found Warriors Don't Cry, a searing memoir of the battle to integrate Little Rock Central High School by Melba Patillo Beals. I don't know if I said that correctly, but again, another memoir. Next month is November, and I want to do nonfiction books, I think, for the entire month. Maybe throw in one or two other ones, but mostly nonfiction. So I thought that this would be a really great one to, put into my nonfiction rotation. Then I found Broken Harbor by Tanya French. It has a little bit of dirt right here that I'm gonna have to wipe off and clean off, but otherwise it was in really good condition. I have read In the Woods, but then that is as far as I got in the Dublin Murder Squad series, I believe it's called. I really enjoyed In the Woods, and I want to continue. I have a couple of the other books. I've kind of been piecemealing them together to make the entire series. So this was one that I didn't have that I found. And then the last book that I found was Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. And first of all, the cover is stunning. And I've actually heard a few people recommend this book. So I just saw it sitting on the shelf and I was like, okay, I have to get that. Plus, the spine is black and white, which we all know I just love black and white. The cover, however, is mostly black and white, but I do love roses. So kind of just right up my alley. So caught my eye, had to get it. So I'm really excited to read all of these books at some point. The next set of books I purchased at my local Goodwill, and I got some deals, so I left the price tags on so I could remember what they were and let you guys know. The first book that I picked up, I actually showed in a tag video from last week, and that was Treasured Tales by Beatrix Potter. I got this book for only $1 because it was a blue tag week, so it was half off. And this book was inscribed to someone, and I just thought that that was interesting. So it said, to Lois, John, and Baby, we bought this book in Hawkshead, just 2 miles from where Beatrix Potter lived. We hope you all enjoy it. Love, Brenda and Peter, May 2000. I just love books with inscriptions. I just find them so interesting. I just love to pick them up and to read them and to own them, because at some point someone really gave a thoughtful gift and took the time to write in it and to pick it out for someone. So I just like seeing that. The next book that I found was The Outermost House by Henry Betson. It says A Year of Life on the Great Beach of Cape Cod. And I got this book for $1. And it says it has long been recognized as a classic of American nature writing. I love the ocean. I love Cape Cod. I love Nantucket and things like that. So I just thought that this would be a fun read to actually have in winter. I really want to read it during the winter because, you know, you get to that point in the winter, especially here in the Northeast, where you are just, it's like, oh my God, is the weather ever going to change? Are we ever going to get back to warm, sunny summer weather? So this will be a nice escape from that, you know, dreary winter mess that we normally have up here in New England. The next book I got in with the thought of reading it with my kids, whether I read it with my daughter out loud to her or whether my son and I read it together. I just thought it'd be really fun. And that was Down the Mysterly River. Not sure how to say it, but I think it's Mysterly River by Bill Willingham and illustrations by Mark Buckingham. So this just caught my eye. It was a bright blue cover, had to do, you know, obviously a middle grade book, had to do with animals. So I just had to pick that up. I paid $2 for that one. Then I found The Echo Maker by Richard Powers, and this is a National Book Award winner. I paid 50 cents for this. And it says, on a winter night on a remote Nebraska road, 27-year-old Mark Schuttler has a near-fatal accident. His older sister Karen returns reluctantly to their hometown to nurse Mark back from a traumatic head injury. But when Mark emerges from a coma, he believes that this woman, who looks, acts, and sounds just like his sister, is really an imposter. When Karen contacts the famous cognitive neurologist Gerald Weber for help, he diagnoses Mark as having Capgras syndrome. The mysterious nature of the disease, combined with the strange circumstances surrounding Mark's accident, threaten to change all of their lives beyond recognition. That just sounded like a very, very interesting read, and one that maybe I'll learn a lot of stuff from. So really wanted to read that. Then I saw The War for All the Oceans. I've heard of this book. I didn't really read the synopsis, probably not going to. I just heard someone else recommend this, and it was only 50 cents because it was a blue tag week. So I thought, why not? Then I found Troublemaker by Leah Remini. And again, I just love reading memoirs. I really don't care who they're about or anything like that. I just love reading them. I saw this. It was on sale. It was half price for $1. So wanted to pick it up and give that a go, maybe a nonfiction November. Then I saw The Paris Wife by Paula McLean, and I got this for $1. Now this, I think, is a book that Goodreads recommended to me, and for some reason, the cover just was stuck in my mind. So when I saw it, I said, oh, I should probably read that. Someone recommended it. And then I thought about it after I bought it. I was like, think it was Goodreads that recommended it. So hopefully it's good. Not saying Goodreads doesn't recommend good books from time to time, but every once in a while I'll get a book that Goodreads recommended and I'll be like, do you know me at all, Goodreads? Do you really know me? But hopefully this book will be good. And then the last book I picked up was Judy Blume's In the Unlikely Event, and this was $1. Now, I read Judy Blume as a, young, probably preteen girl, and I read one book of hers as an adult, and that was Summer Sisters, it says here. And I really actually enjoyed it. It was very entertaining, and I thought, why not? It was only $1, so let's give that a go. So those were all the books that I hauled in just the last week or so. I do have a birthday coming up, so I think there'll probably at least be maybe a birthday haul in there, and hopefully not too many other, books that I actually bought, because I need to stay out of the bookstores, and I'm actually trying to go on like a no-buy period of time, probably until at least the new year. I really don't want to buy too many more books. Obviously, if I see one that I desperately wanted, then maybe I'll pick it up, but I really just don't want to be buying all these books and not getting to them. So I'm you guys can hold me accountable, and I will feel like someone's holding me accountable. So hopefully I won't buy any more books until, after Christmas. But if I don't, I guess I'll be in trouble, not only with you, but probably with my husband too. So whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my haul. If you have read any of these books, please let me know. And as always, have a great week and happy reading.